Okay, so our last talk today, which we left a really good talk to the end. So you all stayed, which is awesome. It worked. So we have Dareen Alhyari from Google.
Good afternoon, Amman. مساء الخير. Thank you very much, Expand, for bringing me back to Amman. Every time I lived outside of Jordan, I had this burning sensation inside of me of longing and belonging, that feeling of missing home. They say Amman has a soul, and I believe it. When I moved to Switzerland to join Google 5 years ago, it was COVID. And you can imagine, I had no friends and no family yet there. So I was searching online and elsewhere and on YouTube for that sense of community. YouTube picked up on that and started to show me content that is tailored to my need. Started showing me content that is more related to the Arab world. I was listening on YouTube to Fairuz every morning and Kulthum every evening. I discovered Aziz Baraka on YouTube. And sometimes in the mornings to get ready for work and warm up, I would listen to Umar Abdullah. You know, it warms you up, gives you that energy. You're ready for work. When YouTube recommendations is at their best, they connect people to content that truly inspires, teaches, and entertains. For me, that means watching content about raising resilient children. You know how difficult that is. Or watching Dahih explaining such complex issues like raising resilient children. And taking some breaks in between to watch some animated explainers by 3 Blue, 1 Brown, or even Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. For my 3-year-old son, it's about finding joy watching Miss Rachel. I'm sure the parents here can relate. And I have recently rediscovered that nostalgic Arabic cartoon songs by Tariq Al-Arabi Tarkan, you know, like هزيم الرعد and مدينة النخيل كل شيء جميل. And those are now my son's favorite shows. One evening, I was getting ready to go to bed. And as you know, like most of us do, just looking at the phone one last time before sleeping. And then YouTube showed me this Korean guy, Shapuri. I don't know why. He grew up in Jordan. He speaks perfect Jordanian, just like you and me. مثلكم هيك يعني. It's like, he speaks Jordanian. His name is Wonho Chung. And then this happened. هذا كوري. You know that feeling, right? You're watching one video on YouTube, then another, and then 2 hours later, you're down that YouTube rabbit hole. You just have to wonder, how did it know? How did it know to show you that perfect video you did not even know you were looking for? I didn't even know I was looking for that video that I kept watching over and over and over again, endlessly. How does it know? So, having worked over the past 5 years, leading a team of software engineers to refine this recommendation engine for YouTube shopping, we're here to pull back the curtain on how that system works. And this is one of the most powerful and honestly sophisticated recommendation system on the entire planet. And just to give you a sense of how big of a deal recommendation systems are, the content that you see Those drive more of what people watch than their channel subscriptions and what they actively search for, more than search driven watch time. Recommendation drive what billions around the world see on YouTube. It's this massive hidden engine that is behind what people see. So, what is job? How does it work? At its heart, it's helping people find content that they want to consume, they find value in, by showing the right content to the right user at the right time. So, what does that mean? The right content means that your system must have a deep understanding of the content. What are the videos about? Is the video a music video? And if it is a music video, what kind of music? What kind of mood? What language? Is it a sports video? What kind of sports? Is it a shopping video? What kind of shopping video? What brands are there? What shopping products are there? What categories? And so on. Viewer understanding. Content understanding is at the heart of viewer understanding. You cannot really understand your viewers if you do not understand your content. Why? Because once you understand the content, once you understand what are the videos about, then you understand what the user's interests are through their watch history, search history, and so on. If you don't understand videos, you don't really understand users. And then we have contextual relevance. Can someone tell me in 2 words, كلمتين, what this could be? I'll give you a hint. I like to watch Fairuz in the morning. I like to listen to Fairuz in the morning. Do you think if before I go to sleep, YouTube recommends to me Fairuz, I will open it? So what is contextual relevance? Yes, time of the day, device type. I like to watch Dahih on my TV screen. I will not like to watch Dahih when I'm on the train going to work on my mobile device. So these little signals, these little details matter for a good recommendation. It's important to also mention that viewers have control over which data to share and how much to share with YouTube, and we'll talk a little bit about this later. So the secret of the algorithm is to understand videos, understand what users want, understand how context matters. Sounds simple, right? Well, over 20 million videos are uploaded to YouTube every day. We're talking about today, we have billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, and I can keep repeating for like 20 times. YouTube has billions of monthly logged in users, much more also including the people who are not logged in. Every day, people watch billions of hours of videos and generate billions of views. And each one of these views feeds back into the system. And there has been over 20 billion videos uploaded to YouTube as of April this year. 20 million. So now what I'm about to show you is an oversimplified version. You have to keep in mind, I've spent 5 years working with this engine and I still don't know everything. And it's huge, it's massive, and it's constantly evolving. It's a powerful 2-stage system, and it's designed to take this entire universe of YouTube videos and shrink it down to those few videos that you will see on your home screen, or when you're watching a video on the Watch Next panel, or in the Shorts page when you're scrolling. The best way to picture it is like a funnel. زي مخروط يعني هيك بالعكس. Like a funnel. At the top of the funnel, there is every video on YouTube. We're talking 20 billion of them. And at the bottom of the funnel, there's a few dozens of videos that will be shown to you on the screen. Now, what's really cool is that this diagram comes right out of a research paper published by Google's engineer. in there. I put a few resources at the end. You can take some photos of them. It really maps how the entire system works. Now, in reality, there are a lot more steps than what you see here on the screen. And each step involves many, many machine learning models that are designed to learn from those signals that we feed to YouTube. So let's break it down. Have a second. So the first stage is like casting a giant net on those videos. You want to shrink those videos from billions to a few hundred. So you have a broadcasting call and you get the videos that might seem that this user might like. And you bring those videos together. Let's dive deeper. How do we do that? There are multiple complex subsystems. And there's not just one or two, there are many, many of them. And they range from something called collaborative filtering to something called content-based filtering. And there are all those hybrid systems in between that are a mix of those both techniques. So what is collaborative filtering? Think of it like a friend of you gives you a recommendation and both of you have a similar taste. It's like that. This person likes this, and this person is similar, also like that. So let me recommend that to this person. It is watching those interactions on YouTube. And if people are similar to each other, they recommend the content that they similarly watch. Now, the problem with this approach, if used alone in its purest form, it cannot really recommend freshly uploaded content. So a creator comes to YouTube, uploads a video, nobody has watched yet. How can this paradigm know who to recommend this video to? Because nobody has watched it, right? And it depends very much on those co-watching patterns, co-occurrences, sometimes we call. It does not know to recommend a video that it has not seen before in training. This is when the problem is the cold start problem and also the signals sparsity. So, those co-watching patterns, for some videos, they might not be as rich. On the other side, it's much more straightforward. Content-based filtering is about the pure understanding of the content. It's not about the engagement signals anymore or the co-watching patterns. It's if you watch cat videos and you like cat videos, the system will show you more cat videos. This is great for freshly uploaded content because a new video is uploaded. Okay, let's see the people who are interested in content that is similar to this video, and then show them this video. However, if used alone and in its purest form, it can lead to over-specialization, meaning you will always see the same type of content over and over again. So it's important to have hybrid systems in between as well. Okay, so let's go to the next stage, the ranking stage. This is where the system is so much more granular and it's so much more, it looks at each video and tries to predict exactly how much is this user going to actually find value in watching this video. And it scrutinizes each video that comes from the previous step. And this is crucial. It also determines the exact order that you are going to see the videos on your screen. It's not just about broad similarities anymore. It's about finding you the exact content that you will like and you will value. This is one of the final steps in that funnel that determines what you're going to see. So how does the whole system actually learn? Well, it's not static and it's continuously evolving. It's continuously trained and it's continuously upgraded as well. It learns from over 80 billion signals every single day. 80 مليار signal. what is the signal? When you watch a video, that's a signal that feeds back to the machine learning models, for example, to the system. When you click on a video, when you like, when you share, when you subscribe, when you dislike, when you comment, every little interaction, every second you watch is the signal that makes the system a little bit more smarter in understanding what you like, what you might be interested in. So with each one of those actions, you're actually teaching the system what you like. And of course, how much you share with the system remains within your control. So YouTube has built user controls that allow people to pause, edit, or delete their watch and search history. Some people might say, oh, but how can I delete my likes and dislikes? Well, if you delete the watch, then a like is part of that watch. For example, when I watch a video that I don't like, that the system to start learning to show me more of that content because I watched, but that does not mean I was interested. I go back to my watch history and I delete it to make sure that it doesn't feed back to the algorithm. You can also do the same. Okay, so I was sitting with my family last night and I was talking about my presentation. And then my brother Osama, who's also a software engineer, by the way, it's in the family. He's here, by the way. He asked me, so he asked me, okay, Dareen, look, now we are in the age of LLMs, large language models. The world is evolving. How did that impact the YouTube recommendation system? Huh? I was like, clever. This is an excellent question because this brings me right to my next slide. So traditional recommendation systems rely heavily on video IDs. A video ID does not really mean something. It's an ID. If you look just at a video ID, what does it mean? It's a number. You can get what the video is about if you look at the metadata that are attached, to the DB in one of your backend systems. But the ID itself doesn't really mean something. However, large language models understand textual content such as title, description, the speech in the video in a human-like way. So they are able to understand the nuances of user interests, what a user might be interested in. So if we find a smarter way to represent videos so that they would have a meaning to it, can we use the power of LLMs to improve our recommendation systems? And the answer is, of course. This comes out of a research paper also published in one of the recommendation systems conferences. I link it here and also at the end of the slide. You can tokenize the watch history in such a way that each video is a token and use the power of LLMs so that as if you're talking to it and represent the watch history like you are talking to it, like you're giving it a sentence and then it will continue. And then it will generate to you what the user will watch next. And because those tokens mean something, then you can retrieve the videos that connect to those tokens. Okay, so the integration of LLMs is actually making the recommendation system more conversational, more explainable, more personalized than ever before. It not just knows better how to recommend content, but it also understands why it is recommending this video to this user. And here's the thing. What the system actually values, what it's optimizing for, the machine learning faults here know that in machine learning models, you optimize for an objective. There's a reward to the model. What the system has been optimizing for has changed over the years. So in 2008, when it first started, it was more like a popularity contest. You go to the YouTube homepage and you see the most popular videos. If you are interested in cooking, you go to the homepage and you see the most popular sports and music videos. This quickly changed in 2011 to optimizing for clicks. You click on a video, you like it, right? Well, it quickly changed to watch time because clicks were not enough. And then it changed then to valued watch time. When you watch a video, well, if you stick around and you watch the whole thing, then you're interested in it, right? Not every watch time is created equal. If you watch a video until the end, that does not mean you got value from watching that video. So how does YouTube does that? How do we figure out what valued watch time is? YouTube actually asks user to rate the video that they just watched, and only the video that you rate 4 or 5 stars, only the watch time that you spend watching a video and then you rate 4 or 5 stars count as valued watch time. You know those little random surveys you get sometime that pop up out of nowhere? Hey, how was this experience? Most of you ignore. Then those survey results are fed back to a machine learning model to learn from and predict how likely is this user going to find watching this video valuable. Pretty clever, right? You can't ask everybody to rate every watch experience. So you train a model to learn from the data that you have. And of course, there are all the direct signals like likes, dislikes, comments, subscribe, all these things to fine tune the machine learning models. And this kind of leaves me to my final thought. This entire incredibly complex system, it has one job: to learn from us, to learn what we like. Every single day, with every click, with every view, our collective actions are teaching the algorithm, teaching the system what we like, what we find important, what we find valuable, what we want to see more of. And more importantly, our actions tell the system what to recommend to others who are like us, who are similar to us in taste. So the real question here is, what are we teaching the system about what we find truly worth watching? Thank you. Yeah. If there are any questions, I'm very happy to answer as much as I can.
There are too many questions, which is okay. It's Muhammad Sahaf from هون. Our Syrian brothers, I think. Yeah. Next.
Thank you. That was insightful. So, whenever recommendation engines are mentioned, in my head, I imagine a graph of users as nodes and the items as also as nodes of other type. And based on the similarity or the connection between users liking then the items, you run through k nearest neighbor, and then you recommend whatever is missing for that particular user. Has this been tried and abandoned at YouTube? Is it really a legacy approach that doesn't work anymore, or what?
Yes, this is the purest form of collaborative filtering. But as I mentioned, you can't use this alone. It is, if you use it this way, it's a graph-based model. It's not a machine learning model, so it doesn't learn complex interaction patterns. It relies on. It's more like if it's a graph-based model, it's more like a statistical model. The advantage of this is that it would be much faster to pick up on new watching patterns because it doesn't have to wait for you to train a model. So there are always advantages and disadvantages to each approach. It is one of the things that could be part of a recommendation system. A co-occurrence graph is very similar to what you explained. But yeah, pros and cons to each approach. And as I mentioned, it's a very, very complex system, and it's not just one shape or form. Like what you mentioned is one of the hundreds.
Okay. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for the session. I have a question, like how you are making sure that the recommendations are fair and unbiased, like about more about the ethical part of recommendation.
I think that's a very good question. So there are two sides, if I understand your question correctly. There's the part about over specialization and not to have the two extreme, polars. So YouTube ran a research to see if actually YouTube pushes people into over specialized areas, and it does not. YouTube tries to balance between interest exploration, so showing you those surprising connections, versus showing you more of what you already like. And then the other part is so that there are responsibility pillars at YouTube. They are also available publicly on the YouTube blog about how to raise authoritative content and reduce the exposure of misinformation. So the content that violates the terms and conditions get removed. The content that are borderline, maybe they do not get recommended. We try not to expose users to them, even if that impacts watch time negatively, but responsibility comes first. So there are 4 responsibility areas you can read on the YouTube blog. They're there. Yeah.
Okay. So a question, you pick. First here, then Tarek.
Hello. First of all, what a great talk. You're such an inspiration person
Thank
for
you.
you. I really have like a question. Why did you remove the dislike button? And how did it affect the algorithm?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, it's no problem. Why did you remove the dislike button from YouTube, and how did it affect the algorithm?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to understand to answer this question as much as possible. So a like is a much more stronger indication of what you like. A dislike, if you don't like something, you probably will not watch it. So it's a bit of a complex situation. We can take this offline, so I make sure I answer you the correct answer. But the like itself is a much more stronger signal of what people want to see more of. Like if you dislike something, it's like probably you also have not, like you will not like watching more of, and there are other signals that count. Yeah.
مرحبا Dareen, shukran. Thank you very much.
Thank
Two
you.
quick questions. First, does number of followers impact videos being pushed to audience? That's number one. Quick, the second one, if a video was flagged to be an AI generated video, will that impact the platform by amplifying or de-amplifying it?
Okay, I'll answer the first question first. So the more popular a video is, that means the more engagement signals it has, and that means that the algorithm is able to learn more how other videos will like and interact this video, right? So the number of followers is يتناسب طرديا مع how likely people are going to engage and watch your content, right? So that means the system will be smarter about recommending your content. If a freshly uploaded video will have to rely heavily on systems that are designed specifically to find audiences for freshly uploaded video until they are able to find their place in the rest of the YouTube videos universe. So it helps when there are more engagement. The second question, AI generated content. So YouTube currently has tools to help creators create videos with AI.
So my question was, if a video was flagged as an AI generated video, will it impact amplifying or de-amplifying the video?
I wouldn't be able to answer this question.
Thank you.
It's a different department.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Dareen.
Yeah.
It was an amazing talk. Everyone
Thank
stayed
you.
till the end to watch it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.